Hello.
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 Hello, it is time for game.
Ring ring. Hello, it's Stephanie.
December 26th.
All right.
It is December 26th. Descent center the visitors room.
You sound like the count. 1, 2. That's you.
What?
Wait, what? Wait. Hold up.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Maya.
Hey, Nick, it's you. I'm glad Mr. Edgeworth made it through the day okay. It's a relief.
Hey. Why'd you do that anyway?
Oh, is she just in jail because she interrupted the trial? It doesn't seem like a real thing.
Oh, right, yeah. There was like an obstruction of justice thing where she got like taken away.
Yeah, but she just got kicked out. What? You can't arrest her, just kick her out. You don't get, like, if you interrupt a court case, you just get kicked out. You don't go to jail.
They can arrest her though.
Well, yeah, but
they can't necessarily charge her with anything or that bad, but they can still arrest her, especially in Japan. In Japan, they can arrest people without cause, basically indefinitely. Because Japan's got some fucked up shit, including that. They can just kind of arrest you and continuously hold you and kind of basically try to get a confession out of you by interrogation.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Like Franz Kafka's The Trial.
The Trial.
I don't know. I just knew I had to do something. I know I'm not the lawyer my sister was. I'm sorry.
Well, you did save the trial. Just behave from now on, okay?
Oh, okay.
Sup? Can I get you out of here, or?
Maya's face is so sad.
Oh, is she gonna be stuck in here?
Yeah, what is that gonna do for us?
Have you been questioned yet?
No, not yet. Detective Gumshoe was here just now. He said, seeing as this is your first offense, we'll let you go after questioning.
Uh-huh. Phew.
Oh, and he wanted me to get bail money ready.
Bail money?
You can pay for me, okay?
Huh? How much?
I don't know. I guess they'll send you a bill or something.
Why do I picture giant bales of money every time I hear the word bail?
Because it's a lot of fucking money,
Yeah, it's also,
Phoenix.
yeah, and the same... It's a homophone.
It is a homophone.
Any luck with Mia?
None. I can't get through to her at all. I tried. I really did. But the line was busy. I don't know what to do. I think I probably shouldn't have stopped my training.
She sounds like she really did do her best. I should check and see if there are any waterfalls in the local area.
I wonder if I'll ever see my sister again.
She is dead.
Wait, but she sees me.
This is the normal problem to some extent.
Yeah.
Let's see, I guess I just throw all the evidence at her, I guess.
It must be nice, Nick. You could just show that to anyone and say, I'm a lawyer. But spirit mediums, well.
I don't know, with your clothes, I bet at least some people would recognize you.
But these are my medium and training clothes. I wonder if I'll ever be a proper medium. She has like a black belt when she gets to true medium.
She gets a black belt on her soul.
When she gets to large instead of medium. Isn't that the large photo Lotto was talking about?
Uh-huh. The one from a completely different angle that has completely different poses and information and raises more questions.
Yes. Huh. It's nice and big, but you can't really see the faces any clearer, can you? No. My mother.
Now that I've shown her the picture, I'm not so sure it was the right thing to do.
You just made her sad.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the wrong thing to do.
You asshole.
It's just... Oh no. This'll cheer you up.
I want to see Gordy too.
If he really exists.
Well, I'd say a photograph is pretty good proof. Once this trial is over, let's get go get some fishing poles and go down to the lake.
Even if there is a monster in that lake, fishing poles sounds like a bad idea. Why?
Because the monster will just drag you down and kill you.
I think the wire would just snap. This is like some cartoon physics, like whoop, and they just go flying off into the water.
Sorry, I'm fresh out of ideas. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So the marking on this bullet and the barrel of the pistol match?
Hey, I'm surprised you remembered that.
It's a basic thing. How could I forget after Von Karma rubbed it in so much? Oh my gosh.
Rubbed it so much.
So which of these are the ballistic markings? You rub something so much.
I'm
Von Karma,
really
I love
sure.
you. I love him. Mr. Edgeworth's prints are on this pistol, aren't they?
Yeah. The prints from his right hand. But they must have gotten on there some other time than the shooting.
What? Really?
The shooter used his left hand after all.
Oh, she missed that part.
And he didn't tell her again.
Yeah.
When I think of the Nessie thing in fishing, I just think of like the fish, the only good scene from the Godzilla remake, the one from the mid 2000s, where the best. Trying to remember. I think this was one of the ones where like it was like the best scene of the entire film, and it wasn't in the movie. It was only in the trailer, and they didn't use it in the film. But it was the scene where there's a giant. It was the fisherman on the wharf, and like he's fishing, and then he's pulling, and it's like, oh, what's happening? And then like it's like tugging really hard, and then like his fishing pole just into the water, like out of his hands, and it's like, what the fuck? And then a giant bulge starts like coming up out of the water, like, and it's like a tidal wave kind of coming at him, and then he's just like running down. He's like running down the pier as the pier is like exploding behind him, as this like force just comes through and like is ripping the pier apart as he's running, as this poor old man. It's like the most effective, good scene of the entire film, and I think it was only in the trailer and not in the film.
Are you talking about the one with Matthew Broderick?
Yes.
The one, like the one Godzilla that the whole Godzilla franchise is retconned as not being an official
That's a lot
Godzilla.
of fish.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fish.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. That scene's so good though, but I think they filmed it and then didn't put it in the movie. I think it was only the teaser, because it doesn't show Godzilla in it either, so it was like a teaser. And it's just this bulge of it coming. But it was like such an effective, tense scene, and I think it never was even used in the film. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that movie was kind of a fuck up.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick.
He hasn't moved an inch since I came in. A real pro. I can't tell. I can't remember if that was like if it just was actually in the film, or if it's like one of those Mandela effect kind of moments where you're like, of course that was in the film. That's all I remember from the movie, but it like wasn't really in the movie. Because like
I don't remember that.
Because there's a lot of examples of that where
I don't remember a lot actually from that.
Yeah, but there's a lot of examples of like people having like iconic scenes that they remember being in films, but when they watch the film, it's not there. They're like, what? Wait, what changed? Why is it gone? But they're actually remembering like a trailer of footage that was never in the movie, and they're like, what?
That happens a lot.
Like the most memorable thing about Rogue One is the protagonist standing in this hallway with like these long lights that go down the hallway, and that's only in the trailer. That visual never happened in the film.
That whole movie was so forgettable.
Yeah,
I watched it and I like thought nothing of it.
It gets worse every time I see it.
Why'd you watch it more than once?
I watched it a second time with Andrew and Joe, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I hate this. There's no one here. Sure is quiet with nobody around. Right. I have to get Maya out of that detention cell soon.
Oh, he's so lonely.
How do I do that? I guess I probably go to... Yeah. Peter. Detective Gumshoe's not here.
Oh, Gumshoe's at the scene again today.
Huh? Oh, really?
He's a live wire, that one. Got into a fight with the chief for not following protocol.
Not following protocol?
Protocol? Prodigal?
Prodigal? The prodigal returns? The prodigal son. I bet he wouldn't help them build the case against Edgeworth. I bet he would just not do his job.
Yeah, he's
He's a true professional.
He's protesting.
We're both yawning at 3 o'clock. We're falling apart.
Well, one of us, I yawned and then you yawned, and then I saw you yawn and then I yawned back, and then we're in like a loop of yawning.
There are fewer than there were yesterday, but the cops are still around in the park. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe is here today. Phoenix. We know that he is.
Of course he is.
We just covered that.
Well, I wonder if you could have came here first. Then you wouldn't have known that yet.
That was actually new. I thought it was the poem thing again. I feel winter's chill from the bare leaf trees today. There's a lot of trees here. I guess that's why they call it a nature park.
You idiot. Of course.
It's quite pretty when the cherry trees along the lakeside blossom in spring. Today, it's just cold. But also,
because you're alone.
Because it's Phoenix Wright universe, these trees are impenetrable if it wasn't for this brave path guiding us away through.
It is literally impossible
people can
to
only
walk
take
through
paths.
them. Yes. How do people get anything done? People
might murder, but even murderers wouldn't go off the path.
How'd they build the path in the first place?
Fire.
It's a naturally occurring path.
The sign says Gourd Lake Nature Park. This place is full of families picnicking on the weekend. It's a little cold for picnicking these days, though.
You'll see if your friend's selling hot dogs today?
Yeah, the samurai dogs that have blue on them?
That blue on them. Delicious. Delicious blue.
What could the blue be? What the fuck could the blue even be?
Blueberry sauce.
I don't know.
Is that not good on hot dogs?
No,
I don't eat.
Super not.
I don't eat those. So I don't know. I don't know anything about hot dogs.
Probably off paying through the nose on a date with that lovely Keonce. Which is a riff on Beyonce, I think. Or fiance?
Oh my gosh.
A hot dog stand, it's closed. Christmas fringe looks a little half-baked. The banner reads Samurai Dogs. Somebody needs to redecorate. Oh. Based on its location, I thought the Samurai Dogs was for this stand, not the Christmas one.
Well, no,
it's in the way of this one.
Yeah, but he was wearing a Santa suit.
Yeah.
So he goes to that one.
Why was... If no one's allowed in here, why was he on site in his costume when they're closed? Because of the murder.
No one told him. They just let Santa walk in. They're like, it's Santa, let him go.
A lineup of plastic benches. I guess the idea is you buy a dog and eat it here. Did anyone... Yeah, he's like weirdly like... Except Maya, if she had a samurai dog. She's like convinced that cold would somehow stop people from eating a hot food in public. It's like, what?
People live in cold.
Yeah.
People eat hot dogs in like San Francisco on benches when it's foggy and overcast.
There's a city called Fargo that exists.
I wish I could do an accent like that.
I think I've done it before, but I always lose it and forget how it goes. I need to be watching Fargo to have like a reminder of like what a Wisconsin.
Have you seen the movie Fargo?
Is. A long time ago. It's not in my memory as good as the show is. It's a great show.
I told you the Coen brothers are my favorite directors, as they count as one.
It's a good choice.
But I love all the movies they've ever directed. I love.
I need to watch more of them.
Hail Caesar's on Netflix now.
I'm all about Quentin Tarantino and Edgar Wright.
Well, I need let's watch Hail Caesar sometime because that's on Netflix now, and I need to watch that
Fargo,
one.
I have it right there.
Yeah, it's in
my to-do list right there on the shelf.
Fargo's great.
Because it's like stuff that there's like some of that stuff's just stuff I didn't want to rewatch because it's been too long.
Steve Buscemi's in it, and he's like genuinely one of my favorite actors.
Yeah. I almost didn't see that signpost. So most of these are the same as before. Yeah. Keep moving.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Murder. Looks like the boat rental shop is closed today too.
Well, yeah.
Have we ever found anything here?
No.
This has to come up eventually.
It's probably closed because of the murder. Well, yeah. Unless you could have like the approach of the other hotel where they like advertise the murder and like try to make money off of it.
Yeah. Around here, the police took the one boat the real murder happened on.
One with the blood in it. Yeah,
so we can't investigate the actual... This is a game where we can't investigate the murder scene in this particular case.
But the... generally, we shouldn't be able to anyway because we're just a lawyer, and I keep bringing that up. But we're a lawyer.
Yeah, but the way this game
not a detective.
work is that we have to also get all the evidence ourselves.
I know. We gotta do everything ourselves.
It's either we have to get all the evidence ourselves or the prosecution has to throw it at us thinking it's going to hurt us.
And then we have to turn it around.
Like, haha, reverse card.
I laid your trap card sideways.
You've activated my trap card. Hey, Detective Gumshoe.
Hey, pal. The trial today,
Yes? What about the trial?
Well, I was going to say good show, but it wasn't really all that.
Thanks.
Though you did save Mr. Edgeworth, I guess. I just wasn't sure how to thank you, you know?
Thanks. It was an entire day of a trial just to clarify something the police should have caught before the trial, which is that the handedness of the perp didn't match the hand of the handprint. Like, that's all we did.
Yeah, that's all we had.
Our entire day, our grand fucking reveal that was like, we gotta do another day of this trial, was us just noticing that the killer was right-handed and Edgeworth is left-handed, or vice versa, whichever one it was. And that's it. That's all that amounted to.
Well, we got Lana to admit that she's a dirty liar, and she only wanted to be there to be famous or something, that she was there to see a mythical monster.
It's just, I think that's gonna happen every day, is that day one of the trial is gonna end with us clarifying something that should have literally been established from the get-go, because it was such a like a base level like observation. Like last time it was literally that, like, there's a second studio? I'm like, yeah, we knew that. We have to check out the second studio. Oh my god. I'm like, we knew that was there. What the fuck? Like, we knew it was there. It was like confusing. Doop. I don't think Lotta takes very good care of her SUV. It's covered with dents. Can't believe anyone would drive their car down here.
Yeah, through the forest. She like just drove through the trees.
Yeah, I mean, I assume there's a path. She just left her shit all out here. There's food and some magazines on the sheet. Takes a pretty tough skin to camp in this cold, does it? I guess she must still be here.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Like, because even her car is still here, so I guess she hasn't stopped camping here in the no camping zone. Detective Gumshoe? Any idea what strategy Von Karma's planning for tomorrow?
It sounds like he's bringing in another witness.
Another witness?
Oh, right. He said something about that in the trial.
That's you, Phoenix.
In the trial today. There were 2 witnesses. That's the whole flashback. It's just repeating the line we just said.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
The thing happening. Verbatim. It's like that's always played for a joke. When like in a comedy show, that's when they'll do it. They'll do
a big old transition.
Say a sentence and then do a flashback to them saying the sentence. Yeah.
But it's like really grandiose for a very simple statement.
It's like that's Bird's formula for a Family Guy joke when he's making fun of Family Guy. Like, hey Peter, remember that time we were at the Grand Canyon and that guy said you were short? And then hey, we're at the Grand Canyon. Hey, you're short.
Well, that is basically it.
Like, it's just like word for word what they just said, but repeated as a flashback. I was wondering who that other witness was. The victim. Edgeworth.
Whoa.
Edgeworth should be a witness that would presumably get called. They're about to fucking throw the book at him without even calling him to the stand.
I know, what the fuck? That's not how this works.
Who was it?
But then again, we're in Phoenix Wright land.
Pal. As much as I'd like to, I'm not at the liberty to divulge that information, even though I do that anyway, like, all the time.
He's only gonna not be a leak when he's on our side.
Well, yeah, but he'll still be a leak for his department.
Yeah, right.
He's a bad cop. You're bad.
Yes.
Gumshoe,
almost everyone
you're
in this
bad.
game's bad at their job.
You're either incompetent or you're actually like biased.
Yeah. Oh, right. I wanted to ask you something about Edgeworth.
What's up?
Is he afraid of earthquakes? I never heard anything about that before.
Mr. Edgeworth doesn't talk about himself too much, see? But there's one thing that's clear as day. him hating crime the way he does, and him becoming a prosecutor, and him being scared of earthquakes. It all started with that incident.
The DL6 incident?
Yep, that's the one. 15 years ago, when he saw his father shot before his very eyes.
Wow, dramatic.
He still feels the pain now. You can see it in his eyes.
He feels the pain of everyone, and then he feels nothing.
I wanted to talk to you about Maya Fey.
Huh? She's not out on bail yet? That's strange. I told them to let her go as soon as they had their report written up. Man, I don't know what would have happened in that courtroom today if it weren't for her. Seeing her get dragged out by the bailiff. I'll be honest with you, pal. I shed a tear or two. Mr. Edgeworth, he's so moved I saw his lip trembling.
Oh,
Really?
That's
Cold
cute.
as ice, Edgeworth.
that's cute.
He was really grateful for what she did, you know. I'm gonna head back to the station. I'll get you the report on Maya and get her out of there as soon as I can.
Thank you. Oh wait, I was wondering how much is bail going to be?
Don't worry about that. Mr. Edgeworth is posting the whole amount.
What? Edgeworth?
Didn't I tell you? He's grateful to her for what she did.
What a nice guy.
All right, pal. Well, don't forget to pick her up, okay?
He posts bail, but he doesn't drive her home. He just leaves her there. He's like, goodbye.
Bye.
I did my part. Here's the money. Okay,
Enjoy
see ya.
walking.
Yeah.
Like
Get a bus.
Yep. Maybe I get Edgeworth to pay this month's rent too.
Well, if you win your,
That's called being your.
you get paid, right?
That's called being your client.
Yeah.
That's how this whole thing works.
Phoenix, you're supposed to get money for this.
Yeah.
You're not just defend all your friends over and over again and not take money for it.
I think they're trying to make him sound like a little selfish or cheeky, haha, maybe I can get more out of him. I was like, no, that's
actually how much
your client.
he should be giving you.
How this works.
He probably owes you more than that. Probably. I don't know how much rent you pay, buddy, but
These characters. Yeah, but there's a grand irony to her being hauled out for obstruction of justice or whatever when the entire court was an obstruction of justice. The court system functions so poorly that a person who's not even part of the case had to just randomly come and start shouting things for the court to correctly proceed. Partly because they keep letting the prosecutors write new rules every day about how the room works, and then everyone has to follow those rules when those rules break the whole thing over their knee so that they can just win by default. It's like some fucking kid shit where you're I got a super gun. Well, I got an anti-gun force field. I got an anti-gun force field gun.
well, I'm actually invisible.
My gun's
and you
immune to
can't
force
see
fields.
me. I travel back in time and I take your gun away.
This is a force field piercing gun. He's like, yeah, well, your gun's gone now. It doesn't exist.
My stand is the world, and I can go back and I can freeze time,
that whole
and
make-believe
I can
battle.
kill you.
Yeah.
JoJo's.
That whole war back and forth, by the way, is the whole reason why there's a big giant player's handbook to D&D. Because D&D,
I always thought it was just like that because I don't know shit about
because
D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons is just a make-believe story. They need this giant list of concrete rules so that there's actually stakes.
That's what I always wondered about.
There's rules to how your character works, what level you are, what the encounter is, what you can do in a situation, and so it's all about improv and reaction in that context. You can't just make things up because of that exact reason.
Thank you for telling me that right now, just now. Because every time I try to ask anyone about D&D, I always basically ask that.
Yeah.
I always ask something well, but how do you...
You can always watch our D&D series.
How do you win? But no one's ever told me there was a fucking handbook. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's right. That's this book. It's big. And that's just the player's handbook. There's more.
I just thought you guys established your own rules.
That's just the one you need to play as an individual. That's the info you need.
I thought you just had to make up your own
no
per game.
In fact,
set of rules.
we're playing a module called Dragon Heist, which itself is its own concrete campaign that's set up, and that you have the wiggle room within that confines, but there's a setting and a goal and characters that are all pre-made by the author that set that all up, so you don't have to completely invent it from scratch. And then the dungeon master's job is to read all of that internalize a lot of that and like have an idea of what the world is and what can happen in it, and then like manage your weird improv group that's just like doing whatever the fuck they want that might go in a completely different direction. D&D is hard for Dungeon Masters.
Unruly. I'd be unruly.
You could play. You might not be able to DM, but I can't DM. I'm terrified of it.
Why?
Lada's camera starting out as a lake. What?
Why are you scared?
Because you have to like, you're responsible for an entire group of people's like fun, and you have to like be really knowledgeable, but also be able to like improv on the spot all this crazy shit and run and like play several characters at once, because every NPC is you're voicing them and like giving them personality and having to if everyone's doing their dialogue trees like in this game or Fallout or whatever, you're the other side. You have to like on the fly say the responses and like come up with what those are and so on and have them make sense. It's a lot. I'm bad at improving the lines of my one character.
I already manage
I pause constantly.
Lots of people, so maybe I could do it. I'm already a manager person. And I'm fun.
Lada's camera is starting out at the lake as usual. Even a novice like me can tell the camera costs a pretty penny, which is why she's just fucking leaving it here and wandering off to go and do a fun trial.
Phoenix is saying he knows what's up.
I hope she doesn't leave it out here to get stolen.
Yeah, dumbass.
Where do we go next? I guess we should go back to our newly released friend.
Yeah, you gotta
There's
go
a
pick
lot
up
of walking
Maya.
around to try to figure out how to continue the story. No, once you get a job that has a reliable schedule, we potentially like get you into the D&D campaigns. Because then you'd be like, I'm always available on this day or whatever.
That's one of my. It's such a sad like life goal to just be like, I just want a job with a consistent schedule. Like it's really so hard to get. Hey Nick, you finally came. They just finished the paperwork. I'm free to go.
Free at last, eh?
Those interrogators were really mean. They were like, okay, what did you do this time? Like I was some kind of criminal. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Have they seen her before? Oh wait, they did, because she was already in trouble.
Oh yeah, she was...
She was on trial.
Yeah, she was on trial for murder. But they let you out in the end, didn't they? Way to be like, ends justify the means. Like, if it all works out in the end, then I guess the system's fine, Phoenix.
No, like... Don't think about what it takes to get there.
I'm a little extra iffy because I'm reading The Hate You Give, and I just finished this morning a police interrogation in the book, and I'm like,
Yeah. I'm scared of the police.
Yeah. I always instantly feel like I'm doing something wrong and I'm in trouble whenever I see one in general.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like one of those things. They're all just people, and I don't assume that they'll be mean or whatever. I just have not had some pleasant interactions.
I wonder how many accidents are caused by someone seeing a police officer's car when they're driving and then reacting.
I speed a lot, so I'm constantly looking for cops. And as soon as I see a cop, you just take your foot off the gas, because you don't want to slam on your brakes because they look for that.
Yeah.
So you just take your foot off the gas and just roll past them. Wait. Like you gotta play real cool.
Hope for the best.
But I always look like a little punk ass with my music and my windows down and my fast car. So I'll just have to cry if they pull me over. Oh, that reminds me. Thanks for bail.
Thank Edgeworth.
Huh?
He posted bail for you. Said he was grateful for what you did.
Mr. Edgeworth did that? I have to make it up to him. We've got to win this case, Nick. We're gonna do that anyway.
What do you think we should do next?
We're kind of lacking in the clues department. We can go to the park and look for Gordy. I was kidding.
Still, if there's any clues out there, the park's as good as any.
Is she gonna find something that you didn't see before?
It's like, I mean, maybe, but it's also like, what else the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
That's where the murder happened. We have no other leads. I need the story to like plop it in my lap what I'm supposed to do next, which right now
I think that's what she's doing. She's telling you to go back.
We're currently just wandering aimlessly. Like, we went to the park and nothing happened. We just went all the way to the deepest menu in the tree of places in the park, all the way to that campsite just to get Gumshoe.
And then
so we can then come back here
and get Maya.
Like, There's some time wasty elements going on in these little adventure segments. What do you say? Shall we head down there?
Sure.
Have you noticed anything lately?
Did you get a haircut?
There's a sky. This guy doesn't move.
He might not be real. I did notice one thing while I was here in detention. It's really pretty comfortable here. It's warm and they keep it very clean.
I meant if you noticed anything about the case.
Well, not much more than that, no.
She's probably still upset about Mia. I should leave her alone.
Leave me alone.
Here we go.
There aren't many cops around here today, are there?
Yeah, I thought that earlier. You weren't here. They're probably back at the precinct working up the case against Edgeworth.
Hey, y'all. Oh, no.
You.
Hey, it's Lotta.
A lot of time wasted today, huh?
Y'all really did it today.
What did we do now?
Nah, I'm not complaining. See, I did a little thinking, a little self-reflection, you might say. I realized that being a witness is a mighty big responsibility. But I just went up there and started blabbing any old thing that came to mind.
Lotta.
So you see, I want to make it up to y'all.
Make it up? That's the problem, is you were making things up.
Yeah, don't make up anymore.
Yeah. What do you think of the trial?
To be honest, I was doing it half just to say I'd been a witness.
We know. That's the problem.
I don't think it was half. I think it was like all of it. Even though I didn't really see anything. I kind of convinced myself I had, though.
That's the problem with the witness testimony.
Yes, it is.
Is that memory is incredibly malleable. It's like to the point where it's like the idea of like there's a thing where like people will like dream about something and then they'll see someone that day and like, you, person I've never seen before, you were in my dream, and it's like, no, you saw their face and then you literally injected it into your dream's memory over the blank slate that was like a whatever, because you're like trying to remember your dreams is so iffy anyway. But like memory is so fallible that people can just like overwrite their own memories with lies, and then that's just real to them now. And like that's why it's really iffy to sometimes to have witness testimony for cases, is because like people just don't. It's just not the truth half the time. I
always think back. This is like my most vivid one. Is that I had this very distinct memory of the day that 9/11 happened. I had this very distinct memory of how it all happened. And then like a couple years later, I was talking to my mom about it.
You were like 7, right? Like that's early for you.
11. Wait, hold on. 7.
I was 11.
I was like 7 or 8.
It's distressingly young.
But yeah, I remember like
memory would be fucked.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is like I was like talking to my mom about it a couple years like ago or whatever, and she was like, I was like telling the story. She was like, you weren't at your you weren't at your elementary school. You were at your middle school, because I had like gotten the schools wrong. Like I thought I was in a different school than I had actually.
Wait, how could you be at middle school as a 7-year-old?
Oh well, then opposite then. I was in elementary school, not. So
you thought you were younger.
Yeah. Because I had pictured.
It's like you're like a first grader.
I had pictured the wrong school. I had a whole memory that I'd gone to school that day, and I was like, I remember like there's a lot of kids who had to like walk to class with their mom because everyone was like freaking out about like the safety of everyone, and there's a lot of like kids who were like Middle Eastern who were worried that they'd get discriminated against, so their moms were walking into class, which I remembered the most distinctly because I thought that was really distressing. It made me really sad. But I'd gotten the entire school wrong. I'd been at the wrong school in my memory.
Like, how is any of this true? Like, what does this memory mean anymore?
I like did the math in my head and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, my whole vivid memory of that was completely wrong. So when I think of like things like witness testimony,
people will pick the wrong person out of a lineup.
Was very true.
They'll have like a lineup of people and the conclusion is just false.
Well, that's why it's kind of fucky, is because like the police have gotten in trouble lots of times for basically implanting photos of people that they would want to be convicted into like police lineups.
If you keep showing people faces constantly, then they'll just like because their memory's so iffy, they can like just recognize the wrong person essentially because they recognize them for other reasons basically.
Yeah, because they just kind of implant it in their brain that's the person. Yeah. There was like a quite a few women who've had to like apologize. These people that went to jail before DNA evidence was like a possibility, that were basically released on DNA evidence because they had thought that person had raped them.
Yeah.
But it was just like the police had wanted that person to go to jail because they were being discriminatory, and so they implanted their photo again and again.
They kept showing them.
Yeah, to kind of convince them of that, to gaslight them into thinking that's what had actually happened.
That shit's fucked
That's
up.
sad. Yeah,
Everything's fucked up.
I'm scared of the popo.
I know my 9/11 memory was the we didn't go to school. They elected not to take us to school, and we got driven to my dad's shop that he had, and they took the TV out of the kids' room because we had like a little room where we play like Nintendo 64 and watch the same VHSs over and over again, or watch the one channel we had which had Star Trek on it. They took that one like VCR TV combo that's like one of those like 10-inch like tiny TV things, little portable like tube TV things. They dragged it over into like the workbench area so they could watch the news while everything was going down. And it was just like a day of confusion and not really knowing what the stakes were or what this meant, because it was like a new experience when you're like 11, like something that's this serious where everyone's reacting to something in a way that they haven't ever before, basically, and you don't really know what it means yet.
Yeah, it's kind of scary seeing your parents be scared.
Yeah. And we lived by an Air Force base, so like my mom was convinced that they were gonna get nuked or something, like something was gonna go crazy, which was like very sensationalist, but like the idea that like we were close enough to the Air Force base that we'd be like in the shockwave if things went down, even though that's not like the level of power we're even talking about for that organization.
No, but weird times.
Yeah.
Even now, weird times.
Yep.
Being alive is weird.
We've just kind of grown up in a perpetual state of not ever thinking we're safe, and also not thinking our future is secure, and not thinking that anything about life is figured out, and that we're all kind of in deep shit.
But
like that's the constant background noise of being a millennial.
Well, almost every generation has had a version of that. You can do like communism. Back in the day, it was like the Red Scare. Everyone was like, "We're gonna die."
The difference is that ours are real. Obviously a lot of the other previous like nuclear annihilation threat was real, but like other aspects of like some like the Red Scare is just like, okay. Thanks McCarthy for like making people afraid of
those damn commies.
The abstract concept of just people believing in other political ideologies. Okay.
They're scary because they're different.
I had somebody going after me in the comment like, "You sound like a communist," and like in like a thing, and I was like, "Calm down, Joseph McCarthy." Jesus. And they had a whole book about this called Crucible. Read a book.
I like the Crucible.
Yeah. Anyway, witness testimony.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I know I caused y'all a lot of trouble. Yeah, you did, bitch. Well, memory is a tricky, vague little thing, like 9/11. Yeah, I sure know that now. I'll be fine the next time I witness a murder. Right.
Don't make that a habit. You mean the first time you witness a murder? Bam!
Yeah,
fucking headshot.
Yeah.
Thousands dead. What about Gordy?
Right. Well, the way I figure, the trial's only stoking the flames of Gordy fever. I'll get my exclusive photos and rocket to stardom. Alright, Lotta, you go, girl. I wish I could be an investigative photographer, too.
Finish your spirit medium training first. Lotta, what do you mean by making it up to us?
Well, you see, actually, I got a bit of information for you. What? That Von Karma didn't want me to say nothing about it. What information? Now we're getting to the heart of it. See, I reckon we might be able to do ourselves a little exchange.
Exchange? I thought this was to make it up to us.
Yeah, that's not fucking fair. Right. I propose a little exchange to make it up to you.
What?
That's called paying still, lady. What? Information don't come cheap, my friend. Hey. I see you thinking, my, how unsophisticated these southern folks are. It's written all over your face. Let me tell you, most southerners are way more sophisticated than you. I'm just the exception, okay? So she's not sophisticated. Well, what'll it be? We gonna deal or not? We gonna deal? What do we do, Nick? I guess. Well, you have to tell us what's gonna be first, lady.
Always press. We don't have any of the leads, so I don't think we have a choice here.
I think you gotta tell us what it is first.
Okay, how much?
Huh? You completely off your rocker? I may not be sophisticated, but I'm not trying to rob the poor.
Huh?
The only fair exchange for information is information. Listen good. What I need from you is information about Gordy. Whoa. Gordy?
But Gordy Gordy might not exist.
Then bring me proof that shows he don't.
You can't prove a negative, that's the whole problem with these ideas.
I'll be keeping watch from the car, okay?
Give me photographic evidence that God's not real.
What? How? Here's a picture of anything besides God. Do you accept payment in cash? Like what? What?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I'd take a picture of. A famine or something.
This photo represents famine. It's just that one, it's the Dust Bowl lady and her kids.
Yeah, the Grapes of Wrath or something.
The Grapes of Wrath.
You see something, y'all? Come to me first, got it?
Okay.
What if we just keep it for ourselves and make $1 million?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Right, see you later.
Like, a photo of... It's a photo of Gordy. We'll make millions. Edgeworth can just rot in hell.
Yeah, we don't have to be lawyers anymore.
Yeah, we quit.
Okay, Nick, let's get hunting.
That's also not how that works. You don't make millions. Hunting? You don't seriously mean...
Gordy, I sure do.
What about Edgeworth?
We're searching for Gordy for him, Nick. Don't you get it?
Okay. And how exactly do we search for a make-believe monster? Maybe we can find a monster myth specialist? That's a cryptozoologist.
Yes, sir. What if, like, Lana's like, I got information, like, we're gonna trade information for information. What if you, like, give her proof of Gordy, and she's like, here's a fun fact about lizards or something. She just gives you, like, an unrelated fact.